I do this job because I feel like I have a calling. I have a calling to protect. And as an executive branch member, I am part of the protection branch. And I feel like I can use my skills in persuasion and interpersonal relationships as a district attorney to protect my community. Kodiak Island is not alone from the rest of the state in the domestic violence and sexual assault epidemic. I think that is the greatest problem that is facing Alaska and facing my community. I think the great majority of those cases, the vast majority of them, well over 50%, pushing towards 80% of those cases involve alcohol abuse. And I see that as the biggest trouble from a community perspective. Just generational, seeing that type of thing happen. And you have that in the criminal histories, because you can go back and see, your dad was an abuser, now you're an abuser, and the likelihood of your son being an abuser is there as well. And unless you can have the treatment components and the resources available to get somebody out of that cycle and the tools in place to break that cycle, that is just going to continue. And Your Honor, I did have a meaningful conversation with Mr. Merritt yesterday. I've also had a chance to talk with I would say that Kodiak Island is a high drug trafficking area. And part of that is because supply and demand. Kodiak has one of the most lucrative fishing fleets out of it. You think of the deadliest catch type of folks. Those types of boats come out of Kodiak, and so the crabbing, the herring, the trawling, the salmon fleets, many of those are located in Kodiak, and they make good money. And with that type of money, and there is a demand for controlled substances. I came in 2017 as the district attorney. I was appointed by the governor to be the district attorney, and I hadn't been to Kodiak since 1999 when I left after commercial fishing. And that was the last time I had been to Kodiak. But at that time I had said to my now wife, if we get married and if God blesses us with a family, this is the type of place that I want to raise children. And it took me almost 20 years to get back here, but my daughters are loving the life here. My youngest daughter is at Camp Woody, which is one of the third island out from Kodiak right now, and she is at camp and she is living her best life. Can't look at the big statistics. You have to see those cases where the victim says, thank you for believing me. Thank you for not giving up on me when I gave up on myself and I went back to alcohol, or I went back to my abuser. Thank you for being consistent. And when you have those type of moments, you save them. And when you're having the hard days and you feel like the judge isn't giving you a good ruling, or you feel like your evidence isn't coming in the way it should be, you go back to those and you open those up and you say, hey, look, I'm doing this for a reason. I'm doing this because I care about my community and my community cares about me. And so you just keep going.